showing that we can deliver with systemic therapy rather than intrathecally or through direct brain injection Huntington therapies is a challenge. As you know, there's already quite a lot of interest in being able to improve the penetration into the brain of large molecules using focused ultrasound. And I think that's going to be an active area of investigation now in the next year with multiple neurodegenerative diseases. And of course, it's already far along in the development for treatment of brain tumors with being able to better deliver chemotherapeutic agents into the brain. So I think that's one of the advances that we're going to see with this focused ultrasound or other blood-brain barrier opening therapies combined with being able to deliver large molecules. Of course, small molecules, for the most part, can penetrate the blood-brain barrier depending on how they're engineered. And we saw some of that information with respect to, for example, Parkinson's disease presented at the AAN yesterday, also with small molecules targeting synuclein, which have very good blood-brain barrier penetration. So that's also, of course, a very different modality. And I'm not aware yet of any programs which have advanced into the clinical phase of development in small molecules yet in Huntington's disease, at least right now. We also saw that earlier in the AAN, we saw the presentation of the top-line data of the proof pridopidine study, which failed to show improvement in top-line, a slowing of progression as measured by the TFC, but there were some other positive, interesting secondary outcomes. So it will be interesting to see whether or not the sponsor decides to proceed with another large phase 3 study in a selected population, which showed positivity in the secondary outcomes of the proof study. We're really looking forward to seeing whether or not other Huntington lowering therapies are successful. As you know, Unicure study is ongoing and is currently on pause, but my understanding from the sponsor is that study will resume enrollment and surgical therapies later this summer or early fall. The PTC compound, which is an RNA splicing modulator, it looks extremely exciting, excellent preclinical work. That study is continuing to enroll patients in Europe. And the study has been expanded to a 1-year study. We're hopeful that study will proceed with being opened again in the United States with additional discussion between the sponsor and the FDA. And I think that's a unique drug because it has excellent complete systemic penetration. And we know that there are abnormalities in metabolism, for example, in muscle and other non-neurologic tissues that are indeed involved in Huntington's disease. So being able to treat the body as a whole with a systemic therapy is really exciting, especially a therapy which can be delivered orally and hopefully has relatively low toxicity. We were all very disappointed when we heard the safety results of the initial cohort studied in the branaplam study, where there was elevated NFL and evidence of peripheral neuropathy development, and then Novartis decided to cancel that drug development program, where we have not heard similar results from the initial cohorts treated with PTCs, RNA splicing modulators. So we're really keeping our fingers crossed and hopeful. So that's a little bit of a quick wrap up of where we are with current trials and also some of the challenges with drug delivery.